welcome to Minecraft. Today we're starting a new series on a server I set up a little while ago for family and friends. The mountain range behind me is right around world spawn. It is absolutely beautiful. I've got a few structures built already, as this is a project already in motion, but it hasn't gone too far. So today we're going to focus on fixing up one of the first things I built. This little box right over my head you'll see is our early game iron farm. It's not pretty. It was always intended to be built or have something built around it, but today is the day we're going to get that taken care of. So if you'll just follow me, we'll head over there, knock that out, and then I'll give you a tour of the rest of my base. As you can see here, I built a little platform under the iron farm. So we're going to head up there and start moving a few things around, getting it set up to build a new shell. And here we are. This is pretty much a standard iron farm. You've seen them a million times. This is first thing in redstone people usually learn. Now it is a little different in that I have, instead of just chests on the bottom collecting the iron, I have a little bit of a redstone clock there that ties it into a dropper and sends it down to be collected underneath. But other than that, it's fairly standard. There's a daylight sensor here that blocks off the zombie at night so the villagers can sleep. Otherwise they will stop building golems, that is. Let me climb up here real quick. Just need to work my way around behind him. This is Foreman, by the way. He's our resident motivator. Keeps the villagers in line. There we go. We got him blocked off. Okay, get ready to sit back and enjoy a time lapse. I'm going to take this section apart, and then we're going to start rebuilding the new iron farm. have it one fully functional hot air balloon iron farm. When you see the lights pulsing like that, that means an iron golem just earned its wings. That takes care of the big project for today. So now let me show you how we actually collect the iron on this. Rather than have to climb up into the balloon, I set up a little platform here with hoppers underneath it to collect the iron that falls down right on... Hey, you! Come back here! I was turned my back on you for 1 second, and you're halfway down the hill. Excuse me just a minute, I need to park my mule. Alright, up here. Stay put. Behave. Yeah, you. Okay. As I was saying, this little platform right here is... not a word out of you. This little platform right here is directly underneath the output from the balloon. So there you go. You can see it right there. So all of that gets collected in hoppers underneath, and then my server mate, Miss Loremaster Mitsu, set up this very cool little filtration system, complete with an auto crafter that takes the excess ingots. We have one column of ingots. The overflow goes into this little tower, which then converts said ingots into iron blocks, which are collected here. Nifty. And then over here we've got iron golem heads. We have the head mod installed. I got all the little poppies here. Lots of poppies. And then the overflow from that goes into this column, where it goes through a composter, turns it into bone meal. And then that last column there is just any oddball overflow items that didn't fit one of the other categories. And then we have an ender chest and a bed here, in case it gets dark, we need to sleep. There's a crafting table in the corner there. But that's about it for the iron farm. It works really effectively. Now let me take this guy back to the town, and I'll give you the tour of the town. So here we have our stables. I've been breeding horses, trying to get the fastest ones I can, including the mules. There was one in there, you could probably tell, didn't get fed. And then this is the actual breeding where I put the fastest ones in to separate them. And then we have a little bit of a garden up here. We got potatoes and carrots, wheat, horse getting ready for delivery. That's one of the fastest ones I've come up with yet. And then this building right here is our general purpose village trading hall. And then we've got the fastest mule I've been able to come up with so far. That guy's pretty quick. I'll have to swap him out with the one I'm using. And then a couple of them are set for delivery. Just waiting for people to pick them up. And then we've got our sheep farm. One of these sheep is not like the others. Let me know if you can see which one. And then we've got Fletcher right here. And then a couple of shepherds. And that brings us up to the tower. And this is the main base. Modeled it after the Space Needle. I live not too far from Seattle, so that was kind of a visual reference to work from. And we've got a bubble elevator taking you all the way up. And if you follow the ladder all the way down to bedrock. Our multi-farm, I got pumpkins, melons, sugarcane, and bamboo at the bottom. Everything gets collected into the chest. I eventually want to have that all pumped into the water column there. I'm going to have to set up a separate column for passengers and use that one for freight. But this is all built into a single chunk. Let me turn on the chunk borders here. There we go. I intend to expand it to fill this space, add a couple more rows to each crop, and that should increase our output. Put some auto crafters on the bamboo and the melons, so get those in their completed state. But it's putting out pretty good. I have to empty the bamboo. Can't even think of the name of it. I have to empty the bamboo fairly often. And the melon, not too bad. Pumpkins just go straight in. But like I said, I want to pump it all into the water column right here at some point in the not too distant future. And then that'll carry it up to the storage room. I'll have to build a new water column right here so I can make an elevator for myself. And I've already started getting it prepped. I got the hole there. But, oop. Okay, ouch. Well, since I'm down here, let's go ahead and take a look at the subway system. This is where the elevator is going to be. The water column will be there, and then the actual passenger portion will be here and here. You stand in the corner, it takes you up. You step out of the corner, it brings you down. Nifty. Okay, so this is our subway station. You got a little crafting table hidden there. You got a cat there. Let's see. So if you go that way, it takes you back to the fishing village where we started out at. That tunnel there will take you into the village. This tunnel takes you to my neighbor's base, which is still under construction. So no spoilers there. But I do like the way the skulk blocks just kind of pulse light. Unfortunately, when you're coming through the tunnel on the minecart, you're moving fast enough that you don't really see the lights from the skulk. You don't see that pulsing effect. It just kind of blurs by. But we have the dispenser here for minecarts. You just put on whichever rail you want to go, and I have the switcher here. So you automatically disembark if you're coming from the north, and if you're coming from the south, you would automatically go straight through. But if you want to reverse that, we have this nifty little setup here. Get lined up. You just punch that and you see the rail changed. That triggers a dispenser up in the wall here that fires an arrow down into a pressure plate that then sends a redstone signal to the minecart rail, switching it to its other configuration. And that's pretty much how it works. So off we go now. This will take you to the village. I carved out the tunnel. It's been a while now. Exit to the subway. But this little tunnel here was a cave that was pre-existing. And I dug this bit out right here. That other one circles back around and comes out right about here. So this is where I built it's not really intended to be an iron farm, but it kind of works out that way. Got a zombie in a cage up there. You probably saw when we came through town first. And then any random golems that are wandering around, go after him, fall down here, and we collect the goodies. That wasn't really designed to be an iron farm, although it does function in that capacity slowly. You don't get a lot out of it. But at one point I had 27 golems wandering around because the villagers just kept making them. This is more crowd control than anything. That's iron bait up there. And the only downside is any other wandering NPCs will also find their way in there. So I keep everybody in the buildings. And this is the bookstore. Book/map store. I set this up a while back too. It was one of the first things I built after the iron farm. This is my map merchant. Just a standard cartographer. I was going to have two. I might add a second one later. And then get a little storage there. And we've got book storage. If you need to buy an enchanted book and you don't have a book with you, you just grab one out of the bookcase. And we got looting 3. He sells glass, one of the big perks. Mending, and he sells glass, and we got a few other enchantments. So we've got most of the good enchantments. There are a couple missing. I don't have Unbreaking 3, and I don't think we have Protection 4. Although for some reason I've got fire resistance from about 5 different guys. But they're all sleeping, so I should probably do the same. I got a little emergency bed tucked away back here. Just sleep off the night. There we go. And then up here on the... There we go. Up here on the 3rd floor, this is going to be a brewing stand, or have a public brewing setup at some point. I just have to figure out exactly how I want to do it. And then we have the public enchanting table. Got this set up. I've got bookcases around, so if you need to get rid of that to reset the enchantments, just grab a book, throw it in there, do a quick 1-level enchantment, and throw it back in the bookcase. Got a little lapis storage, got a grindstone, an anvil, everything you need. Back here you got a crafting table and an inner chest kind of tucked around behind it. You don't see it unless you need it. And yeah, it's a nice nifty little easy public access thing. And then there's the brewing stand for the future development there. And come up here on the roof, you get a nice view of the town and the mountain range. And there you go. We got some trees. That's kind of a makeshift wood farm. I just planted them. I don't really harvest them that often. It's mostly for decoration. There's the neighbor's house. Again, still under construction. Some point, see if she wants me to do a walkthrough, or if she wants to do. I don't think she's really interested in making videos. But yeah, it's a nice little bookstore. I like it. And back here, just to meet fire codes, we have a fire escape. Got access to every level. Have to break the window, of course, but yeah. And there you go. Easy peasy. Now, coming around the side, we have the composter. Got hoppers at the top. I've got a chest up above that. Feeds down into this chest where we collect our bone meal and store some wheat in there. Got an extra anvil. Let's see, here we have our fishing hole. Dug this out just so I'd have an easy place to go fishing. And I needed some place to put the frogs. I've got some fish in here. There's a well and a tunnel leading up into the bottom of the... Oh, there they are. They swim back and forth. They'll swim around in here for a while, then they'll go through the tunnel, come up the well, come back down, and here they are. Just a few tropical fish. And then I got these adorable guys. I am so happy they put frogs in the game. And here we have a little bit of sugarcane and my really, really minimalist cactus farm. Got a little more wheat so we can feed the cows. And it looks like I'm going to need to cull the herd back here pretty soon. Okay, that brings us back over toward the tower. And I just wanted to show you this space right here, because when we first started playing, these trees weren't here. And that mountain right over there, the little peak in the middle, that was where I intended to go to build my starter base. But there was a village here, so I was like, alright, I'll see if I can get a bed and maybe grab some food and stuff. And I found this little cave right here above the village. It winds its way down and up and all through the mountain range. So I built this little bit of a starter area. And right back here, there was some cobblestone sticking out of the wall, indicating we had a mob spawner. It's a zombie spawner there, so easy experience. It was just too convenient, so I ended up building my starter base here. Got an ender chest, we've got all the little mini farms. Let's see, tunnels lead down. Like I said, these things wind all through and there's exits out through cracks all over the mountain. Got my little mini lava farm so I can make obsidian. Just collect the lava here, put it in here, hit the button, water flows over it, instant obsidian. Here's my puppy. Hello puppy, I haven't named him yet. And here on the right is my nether portal. It takes you up to the nether roof. That's something I'll go into on another day. There's not a lot up there right now. But this little water vader takes you up to the main disk and my work/storage area. I've got a lot of empty space here. So, like I said, this is still early days for this starter base, and I am still working on it. But I've got this nifty little storage system I set up. Silent Whisper had a tutorial on it. That's where I got the instructions. I will put a link in the description. But basically, it just takes all the items you put in, and it can store a separate item in every space within each chest. So, lots of storage. I got them broken down by general class and type. And then they're full, and I still need more. So I'll be expanding that not too distant future. It does make a lot of noise when you turn it on. You do have to turn it on, otherwise it just clicks like this constantly. There are better systems that are silent. I didn't discover them till after I built this, so we'll get to those at a later date. But this monstrosity is just, all it does is fill the cauldron. It's just water over a dripstone. I thought I'd try to dress it up, and it's hideous. I'm going to be taking that apart and redoing it. I just have to come up with a better design, but use the water from that to fill the bottles when you're making potions. This is my potion chest. I got my ingredients. I got some made potions. And then these are just all my oddball chests that didn't fit into the sorting system. And then the green blocks there is where the next branch of the sorting system is going to go. Can't speak correctly. But then I got my little toolboxes, ender chest. This is kind of an ugly thing. I was experimenting with different ways to use the elevator. And this is my chicken cage, I guess you call it. So this is my egg generator. I've got a chicken basically in a small cage made of trapdoors over a hopper. No chicken. And hopper feeds into a barrel. Unlimited eggs. Doesn't require anything elaborate, just 3 blocks worth. And then we have the standard auto furnace. Fuel goes here. Let's see, we got a composter on the end. Output chest. Coming around the back. Fuel comes down there, runs its way through into these chests, and then gets pulled into the hoppers underneath, which then push it into the furnace. Easy peasy. But it works. And then follow me over here. This is my Ender Pearl stasis chamber. If I need a quick way back home, I just have somebody flip the trapdoor and poof, I'm there. Let's see, next on the list would be right down here. Got unlimited water supply. I've got my stone generator. Simple lava on the top, water on the side. Hit it with a pickaxe and you get unlimited stone. Or cobblestone if you're using a regular pickaxe. Silk touch for a normal stone. And then this is my cold storage. I've got cauldrons on the roof that collect the snow as it's falling, which then I scoop up as powdered snow and deposit in here. And this is just dead, useless space. And that brings us down to this is my mud farm. My server mate built this for me. And basically you just put, let me grab a little bit of dirt here. So you put the dirt in your offhand slot and just stack it right here. It automatically turns it into mud. You hit that with a shovel and then doot, 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 doot. There you go. Mud generator. And then you can see the bottles coming through there, getting refilled and pushed back into the system. There you go, in the hopper. And then down here, you have the mud that's generated. The dispenser here refills the dirt, and then the chest up here on the right will fill the dispenser. I need to put some more dirt in there, but that's pretty simple. It works beautifully. And then back here we have Ralph. Ralph is a pillager who, after an extended conversation in a boat, decided to throw away his crossbow, but he's still kind of like public enemy number one. Villagers run from him, iron golems chase him, so he's in here more for his own protection than anybody else's. But otherwise he's perfectly harmless. I just haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with him yet. And up here on the roof, well, what's the roof now? I intend to build more up here. Got the mountain peaks, and these are my cauldrons for collecting snow. And this one's almost full. Every time it rains / snows, these things randomly collect a little bit, and then when they're full, I just scoop them out with a bucket. And then, here's what the mud's for. We have our clay generator. You just fill this space with mud. There's dripstone on the roof of the cave or the room underneath. And as soon as you put the mud in, let's go ahead and do that now. There we go. And look, it's already draining the water out and turning it into clay. Then collect the clay, and eventually I'll throw it in a furnace and turn it into terracotta. Or I can break it down and turn it into bricks, whatever I need. Oh, and here's the snow. So yeah, that should help fill the cauldrons over there. And this, oh look at that, we got a rainbow. A lovely rainbow leading to the iron farm. Yeah, it's not a pot of gold, but it's close enough. It's actually probably worth more than gold. And now it's gone. And this is my flying machine. There will be more on that in the next episode, where we invade the inn. And that's going to be it for today. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, goodbye.